The NFC South has some very interesting storylines. The Tampa Bay Bucks, who won the Super Bowl last year, brought back all 22 of their starters from the Super Bowl. One of the first teams to do it in the modern era. That is a crazy stat. It's also crazier considering the fact that Tom Brady's coming off of a Super Bowl MVP. He's turning age 44, and he does not look like he's slowing down. We both, I think, agree that the Bucks are the class of this division. The Saints, they got some questions at quarterback. If Jameis can steady the ship or whatnot. It's a question what he can do in the regular season. We'll see about that. The Panthers have a lot of questions about a lot of things. Sam Darnold, I like the kid. Is he going to be the guy? We'll see. And finally, the Dirty Birds. And those dirty uniforms. Ben, why don't you tell me what you think about the NFC South?
Yeah, so I'm only putting that one loss on the Bucks just because I feel like it would be irresponsible not to. But I have thrown out the take numerous times throughout this offseason that I think the Tampa Bay Bucks just might not lose this year. I think there's a real possibility. They're just a wagon, that team, just a complete wagon. They ran through the playoffs last year. And I mean, the team that gave them the most trouble was like Taylor Heineke in Washington. Like they were only getting better as the season went on. They started off rough, and then they just hit a hot patch. And now that they've finally gelled, like that, those teams, I can say like talent wise, this team is better than the Patriots team that went 16-0 or whatever that year. I don't think I've ever seen a complete team like this coming off a championship ready to run it back like the Bucks are. I mean, 15-1 is like low end for me. I really think that there's a chance that they just might not lose this year because I think Tom Brady's just a psycho, and he does care about winning that much. And I think everybody else on the team is that bought into it. Otherwise, you've got New Orleans. I think that if the Bucks do lose, it will come to Jameis. I think Jameis is he's that guy. And look, he's rebuilding his reputation down there. And who better to learn from than Sean Payton and Drew Brees last year? So I think the Saints will be all right. I know everybody's worried about Jameis turning the ball over, but what I said before, he's got LASIK. He can see the linebackers now. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's accurate. The Saints are on the right direction. They're on the right path with Jameis. They're going to get 10 to 15 years out of him, and they'll be great. Who else do we got? The Panthers. Okay, I've got them at 7-9. I think Sam Darnold is going to improve just because that's what happens when you get away from Adam Gase. I mean, it seems like Tannehill. This is just something that is a pattern that you just can't.
I don't know, man. Go ask Jay Cutler. He got divorced. Like he got away from Adam Gase, and what did he do? He got divorced.
He got divorced, and then last week he was like, "It's not going too well out here for me." so
I had to say, yeah, man, they got a struggling Jay Cutler had to start a podcast.
Oh yeah, but I think Carolina's going to be a little bit better with Sam Darnold, and I think Sam Darnold might be the guy. I don't know if that means he's going to get them to the playoffs ever, or show up every now and then, but I think he could have like a Matt Ryan-esque career down there in Carolina where, he keeps them afloat. They're usually good. They sneak into the playoffs every now and then. He's just a reliable starter. Watch out for Robbie Anderson too, because him and Robbie Anderson played together with the Jets. They love each other. Big time fantasy sleeper. I'm not a fantasy football guy, but I'll give you the advice. It's for free. Just, to everybody watching out there, go get Robbie Anderson. And the Falcons, the 3-13 is mostly because they're not good. That's the number one reason. Kyle Pitts is cool. He's going to be fun. He's going to be very good one day. I don't know if that's going to be this year just because their defense can't really stop anybody. And my other hope with the 3-13 is that, all right, let me just lay this out here for you. Josh Rosen is one of my most favorite players in the league because he's very entertaining. I don't know if you've ever read his stat lines, but the stat lines that he puts up are some of the most bizarre things you've ever read. 9 of 20 for like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. I don't know how he comes up with this stuff,
Oh, you were obviously not watching Joe Flacco play football in 2009, sir.
Every single game that Josh Rosen plays has a bizarre stat line. Like 11, like I'll just make one up right now, but it could fit in. 11 of 32 for 205 yards, no touchdowns and no picks. Like that's the kind of game that Josh Rosen plays. He does not complete passes. He's not good, but he's young. He's a former very high draft pick, and he's currently Atlanta's backup. So you have an aging Matt Ryan. You're sitting there at 2-10. You got those last couple games, and you just go, you know what? Let's see what we got in Josh Rosen. And we all know what you've got in Josh Rosen. Not a starting quarterback, not a good quarterback, probably not a guy that should even be on the roster to begin with. But I'm hoping that they're bad so that we can see the Falcons see what they have in Josh Rosen, because that would be very entertaining for me. You just got to get a couple more, like 21 of 28 for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Like he's going to find a way. He just finds a way. I don't know how he does it. He's a magician.
What was that stat line you said earlier? 11 of what?
11 of 32 for 212 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Are you looking at his game logs right now?
Yeah. His game logs.
Just give me some of them. Give me some of them.
So the closest one you got to was 11 of 26 for 149 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. In a win, by the way, against the Packers, a win against the Packers.
There was a 9 of 23 game, I think.
Oh yeah, no, right? The 9 of 20 game. I watched that. It was against the Raiders. I paid very close attention. That was his Flacco-esque game. He also had a 23 of 40 for 252, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. That one's just sad. That's he just 21 of 39, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. That's just sad. I mean, Josh Rosen's one of those guys to me. He got a there's like not a lot of people who can legitimately say, they didn't get a fair shot at it.
No. I need to correct you on that. He stinks. He's a terrible quarterback, because when he was in Miami, no.
He's not.
When he was in Miami that year, when we were all, it was the year that you were saying, oh, they're not going to go anywhere. It's Fitzpatrick.
I wasn't saying that. People were saying that. I just reiterated what the people were saying.
When people were saying that, and Josh Rosen started that year, he was doing the same exact stat line. So I was doing the same thing, where I was like, poor
but he
Josh
started
Rosen
like
never got a fair
he
shot.
started like 2 games that year, though. He started like 2 games that year. Look.
I'm not saying no. Garbage.
No. I'm not. I'm okay. How about this? Let me explain what I mean. In comparison to other first-round picks and other franchise guys, Josh Rosen did not, I think, get the He didn't get the opportunity that he probably should have to become a franchise guy. I'm not saying he's going to be one. I think he has a lot of untapped potential, though. I think he does. I think he legitimately does have a lot of untapped potential. Because you see the way he throws the ball. He can be a guy who can be a journeyman backup in the league. Like that, I see that. And look, he's like 3 years in. He's been on goddamn 6 teams now, all right? He's already a journeyman, like 3 years in the league, all right? This is a guy who was picked, 12th overall back in 2018, somewhere around there by the Cardinals?
I think he was ninth. I think he was a top 10 pick.
Yeah, either way, but I think there is legitimately some untapped potential. I think we will see Josh Rosen. We'll find out because he's going to play. I mean, he's probably going to play unless the Falcons do what they've done the past few years, which is have terrible starts of the year and then just rattle off 4 wins in a row to end the year, and everyone's just confused, and Atlanta's just wondering what could have been. But I got them at 5-12. I got the Saints at 7-10 because I'm just not sold on Jameis. Hopefully he can change my mind. I'm open to that. I like players.
He will change your mind.
I got the Panthers at 7-10. I think Sam Darnold is going to he's going to play well. I just think that team is they're missing some key pieces. I think they're going in the right direction, though. I think Matt Rule is going to be a coach who's going to get that team to the playoffs, possibly even next year. They just need to get some pieces on that defense. So that being said, you already said it. The Bucs, Tom Brady, they're going to be on the tear. Got him at 14-3. Again, don't really know what that means. All I know is that's a good-ass record. It's one of the best records I got in the entire league. Actually, I think it's the best record I got in the entire league. So 14-3. I think a long season, there's going to be some hiccups in there. It's going to happen. But this is a team that like we said, the only thing that's going to stop this team is themselves. Last year, they only got better as the season went along. That was the only team in the NFL that I really saw that consistently got better. We already knew the Chiefs were going to be good, and they were good consistently throughout the year. The Pittsburgh Steelers got worse as the year went along, and they were 11-0. So I think the Bucs are the class of the entire conference. The only other team that I think is going to take them down are the Packers. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.